Hello, my beautiful fragrance family. Dustin here, fragrance fan. Go ahead and do me a solid and click that like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell notification. And I'm just going to keep on giving you guys these budget-friendly fragrance reviews, that $40-ish and $100 range. Most of these are way less than that, and a good number of these you can find at your local rack store. And what I did today is I tried to compile a list for you guys of 5 fragrances that I think are really good smelling, but I wouldn't recommend you just blind buy any one of these. If you trust my judgment and my opinion, I'm going to do my best to explain them and kind of paint a picture of what they smell like in a brief few sentences and see if that's something that you might be interested in, that scent profile. Then roll the dice on it, because none of these are expensive at all. Obviously, if you watch my channel, you know that. So let's just dive into this thing and go with the one fragrance that you're probably not going to find at the rack store, but if you go online, Amazon, Parfumo, Fragrance X, Fragrance Net, you'll find it for like $23 and under. And I'm talking about a very underrated house in my opinion. That's Frank Olivier Oud Touch. This house is a lot of times known for their clones, but I don't think this is cloning anything exactly. In fact, they make Blue Touch in this same kind of bottle, except it's blue, and it's my favorite version of Aqua di Gio. It's just a little bit more powdery, but man, it's louder and longer lasting for 20 bucks. It's great. Check it out. This one particularly is a good dose of raspberry, rose, vanilla, and even though there's not any oud notes listed anywhere, it really, really captures an oud vibe. It really seems like there is oud in this thing through and through. How there's not oud listed is beyond me, because it's in the name on this thing and it's in the scent profile heavily. There's also raspberry and caramel, but it's not real sweet. The caramel's up in the top and there's vanilla in the base, and you would think that would make it really sweet. It's semi-sweet, but mostly it's raspberry, rose, and oud. The rose in this thing is really, really silky and smooth, but if you don't like oud, stay away from this one. If you do like dark, rich, cold weather fragrances that are built around an oud vibe, for $23, you might want to check this thing out. It is loud, it's a room filler with 3 or 4 sprays, and it's a 10+ hour fragrance, and it smells like it's way more than a $20 fragrance. So that's Frank Olivier's Oud Touch. Up next, Kenneth Cole RSVP. This one is kind of like, get grapefruit, sprinkle it with black pepper, and that's the opening. Spicy grapefruit, and then there's a lot of iris and a good dose of woods. If you don't like iris, that waxy lipsticky iris, you're probably not going to like this. If you don't like woody florals, which this is classified as, you're probably not going to like this. But if you like iris, if you like slightly heavier woody fragrances, check this one out. It's very woody and very irisy. Like I said, opening up with that peppery grapefruit, but then just coming along with a lot of woods and iris. Kenneth Cole RSVP, I think it smells great. The performance on it is decent. It's a 6-hour fragrance, slightly above average. Projection is right there at average, but I dig wearing this thing. So you find it at the rack store for like 20 bucks whenever it pops up. And I guess the old bottles were red. Up next, sometimes this one pops up in the rack store for a really good deal. It's like a 4-ounce bottle, so you're really getting your money's worth out of this thing. And I'm talking about from the house of Mercedes-Benz, the original. This one opens up with like really, really crisp, refreshing, bright citruses. Spicy, crispy, bright citruses. Followed by a lot of violet leaf. Forgot the word there for a second. A lot of violet leaf. Giving it kind of like that Dior Fahrenheit vibe. It doesn't smell just like Dior Fahrenheit, but the amount of violet leaf that's used in that petroleum kind of aquatic petroleum violet leaf is what you find in this one. Followed by a lot of woods in the base of this thing. Like I said, it opens up really like a summer vibe kind of fragrance. Spicy, but crispy, juicy, uplifting citruses. A lot of violet leaf and some woods. That's what you'll find in Mercedes-Benz. And the performance, a lot of people talk about Intense being such a performer, which I haven't wore that one, but this is it doesn't slack. It's 6.5, 7 hours, easy. It's well above average. So it's it's a performer, and that's Mercedes-Benz. Up next, very unique smelling fragrance in my opinion, and one that I've had for some time. Haven't wore it in a while, but it has kind of been crowned the king of pressurized atomizers, and this is Sha John 3 AM. Let me just show you the atomizer on this thing. A lot of you guys know the Camaros, Milestone and stuff like that. This is like that, but squirts out even more juice. It's heavier. It's a better atomizer than those. Same feel, but more actually comes out. So this one opens up with this beautiful orange blossom tonic fig leaf. Lots of fig leaf. But the orange blossoms, like I live in Florida, and unfortunately, a lot of the citrus groves are going away, but man, if you're lucky enough to be able to drive through one when those things are blooming, it is just incredible smelling. And this thing has a lot of that in it, with a lot of tonic water and fig leaf. Tons of fig leaf. If you don't like fig, you won't like this thing. I'm saying that right now, because this thing, that's like the dominant note in this thing. Right behind that is the orange blossom, and then there's like geranium and stuff, and some citruses, but mostly it's fig, orange blossom, tonic water. Great for the summer. It's light. It doesn't really last that long. It's like a 3.5 or 4 hour fragrance, but I think this thing smells so awesome, and it's so unique and so different that it just had to make this list. And again, you'll see this at the rack stores. Burlington is where I found this one for $20, and that's Sha John's 3 AM. And last, but certainly not least, is Guess Seductive Homme Bleu. Now there's several fragrances that I have that are kind of similar to this, but I wanted to do this one in particular. It's a peppery citrus aquatic with this unique sand note and a little bit of moss, giving it some kind of earthiness in the base. There's also some weird stuff like caviar in this, but you don't get a whole lot of that. This is similar to La Nuit de l'Homme. It's not exactly like that, but it does have that kind of DNA. Salvatore Ferragamo, F. Black, Joe's Icon. Excuse me. This has a lot of that with a touch of freshness, making it better for the higher heat. If you like La Nuit de l'Homme, if you like that scent profile and you want a version of that you can wear in the summer, then go ahead and try to find this thing. And right now they're being at rack stores for like $15 for a 100 milliliter bottle. They're knocking down all the Guess Seductive line, and there's not a single Guess Seductive, the red, the black, or the original, that I don't think is at least a 6 out of 10 kind of a fragrance. They're all good. The black one is my favorite. It smells kind of like Paco Rabanne 1 Million with an apple twist. The red is real spicy, and the purple one, the regular one, is kind of like Fruity Pebbles, and this one is like La Nuit de l'Homme with a little bit of a summer twist to it, with them aquatic notes going on. So, and performance isn't that bad. It's average, maybe a little bit less. Projection is about the same, but you overspray on this one and it'll last a lot longer, believe it or not. It's one of those that'll actually go farther the more that you spray. And yeah, so that's my list of 5 fragrances that, if you trust my judgment, then go ahead and roll the dice on these ones. Other than that, sample them or not. They're all cheap. The most expensive one is a Mercedes-Benz, but it's bigger and it's still not even that much. It's like $24 or $29 for that 4 milliliter bottle, or 4 ounce bottle. So yeah, that's another list for you guys. And it's funny because it ended up being kind of like, you got some winter here, you got the Sha John in the summer, the Kenneth RSVP in the fall, the Mercedes, and this one they work in the summer, but they're a little bit heavier too, so they'll work also in the spring and the fall. So a little bit versatile too. So you got yourself a pretty versatile collection. If you get all 5 of these, you'll have a nice versatile collection as well. So that's my list for these guys. So with that, I'm out. Y'all be blessed. Take care of yourself always, and until next time.